This is the life of a couple who are now spending their happy life in a converted school bus in the bush. They love to take care of nature and be like simple human beings. Brenton and Kim Lynch Rhodes can easily recall the life they were living at the beginning of their 20-year marriage. The life they happily left behind. What could have been a midlife crisis has been averted, replaced by arguably the best season of their lives living off-grid in a school bus they converted, on 17 hectares of bush. They do their business in compostable toilets, charge their phones at work and cook with the veggies grown in their garden. But they haven't always lived like this. Mr. Lynch Rhodes, 59, met his wife-to-be in New Zealand, 43-year-old Kim's homeland. But that life was not happy for them. Their fairly corporate jobs did not reflect the qualities they loved and appreciated in each other. The couple both grew up on family farms, Mr. Lynch Rhodes in South Australia's southeast and his wife in the small town of Kaikahi on the North Island. While the temptation to drop everything and start life differently had been surging for some time, it took a tragedy for the couple to take the plunge. Ms. Lynch Rhodes tells of days outside following her father. "I was always with him, weeding and planting and learning how to look after a garden and working on cars and changing tires and all those fun things that you do with your dad," she said. When Mr. Lynch Rhodes' family became ill, the couple circled back to South Australia, where they took their first leap of faith running a motel in Narrako Ord. For Mrs. Lynch Rhodes, losing her mother in an accident was that tragedy. "You just realize life's too short," she said. In doing so, the couple bought nearly 17 hectares of bushland in Robe on South Australia's limestone coast. And a school bus. The bus cost $7,000, and everything in it, about $20,000. The couple have lived in their new home for 3 years. The bus was completely bare when they started. A daunting thought for most couples, but not for Mr. and Mrs. Lynch Rhodes and their hands-on farming backgrounds. "Both of us had requisite skills to do everything," Mr. Lynch Rhodes said. "We did get some carpenters to do a little bit of work, but generally, we sourced everything." Given the small area, the couple felt convicted to spend on the things they liked, like an antique buffet hutch carved out of oak, recycled railway sleepers for floorboards and an old Victorian bathtub. The downsizing was not limited to things. Power was something Mr. and Mrs. Lynch Rhodes decided to live without, until now. They haven't had a TV or anything like that in pretty much the 20 years they've been married. Coming from farms, there were never plugged-in luxuries like dishwashers either. They decided to install a small amount of solar. And they are using a 12-volt fridge and some small lightings with that electricity. The one challenge? Things take a little longer. Before gas, it took half an hour to make a cup of coffee, Mr. Lynch Rhodes said. A moment of impatience quickly replaced by a sense of gratification. "I think for a lot of people the idea of living off-grid means not having anything, but you can still have a good lifestyle if you reduce what you have," Mrs. Lynch Rhodes added. As for his wife, Mrs. Lynch Rhodes is thankful for the sense of peace and healing their new home and life has returned in a time of grief and loss. "We go over that hill and it's just very serene, you just feel very relaxed and grounded," she said. Let us make the story of this amazing couple as a life studying material.